Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are finally getting down to work to completing the third beast tribe that we have here in Norvrot. Well, technically it's not really a beast tribe. These are the Dwarves, which are the equivalent of Lalafell back in Eorzea, but we'll just say that this is the third tribe that we're going to be taking care of here. And we speak to the affable town dwarf. And the quest is called It's Dwarfing Time. Bugger my beard, you scared the life out of me! I'm just guessing on it because I don't know if it's a girl or boy yet. Phew, for a moment I thought you were Hobgoblin. Seems being so far from Tomra has got me jumping at shadows. Hold on, I know you! You're the one who was helping Ronitt. As for me, the name's Reggit. I forgot to introduce myself before, but I was there when that off little lad gave his first proper Lahai-Ho. What? You don't remember me? In all fairness, the fact that you're covered from head to toe in identical outfits does make it a little difficult to tell one dwarf from the next. Well, they have had their ways and we have ours. Anyway, it's wonderful to see you again, Claire. Reggit was just asking us for the directions. I almost forgotten about that. Actually, it was on my way to... what was it called? Crystal Town? No, that's not it. Something to do with crystals. Ah, why can't I remember the sodding name? You see, Ronitt is nowhere to be found. He did leave a note behind in Tomra, though. Yes, the letter! I have it right here. To whoever might be concerned, I am off to the Crystarium to find my first and best friend Claire. If the chief asks where I've gone, just make something up. The automata will take care of my work, so he should have no reason to complain. Oh, and don't forget to feed them while I'm away. With coal, that is. Bye! Short and to the point, I like it. That's what it says anyway. That boy may have mastered the fine art of a good old-fashioned Lahai-Ho, but that won't get him very far in the Crystarium or whatever it's called. Yes, and even if the opening pleasantries go as planned, it's what comes after that matters most. He'd be the first to admit that polite conversation isn't exactly his forte. Since he went there looking for Claire, mayhap the two of you could go and find him before he gets into or causes any trouble. That reminds me, will Ronitt being away lead to any difficulties in the rock frostgate for grog arrangement between our villages? The Orehound Ogre he built seems to be going about his work as normal, even without him here to operate it, so I think we'll be fine for the time being. Alright, that settles it. We're off to find Ronitt. Although I should probably point out that this is actually my first time I've gone more than a mile or so outside of Tomra. I'm counting on you, so please try to keep the mishaps and misadventure to a bare minimum. Well, where's the fun in that? Not that I'm scared, mind you. Ho ho, not one bit. Without any further ado, let's make haste for the Crystarium. And we wish you both a safe journey to the Crystarium. Yeah, it's not a hard name to remember. I have a feeling it won't take long to find him. For better or worse, dwarves have a habit of drawing attention wherever they go. I must admit, I don't envy you having to keep an eye on not one, but two dwarfs in a place like the Crystarium. Who knows what sort of trouble they'll get into. Okay, so if you don't know these two, they are actually part of a series of side quests that you can actually partake in here in Kalusha. So I think one of them is supposed to be like the mayor or something. Like he's kind of like the head here in Wright. And so he was going through a lot of difficult times here, and the girl was here to help him, like kind of helping him to maybe come to grips with their situation here and try to move forward. And we eventually had a series of quests with Ronitt, who didn't really know how to make friends, didn't really know how to talk to people. So we kind of helped him to get the confidence to make a proper Lahai-Ho and learn how to meet people, basically. And eventually, those two and Ronitt kind of meet, and so they have a special arrangement where his machines can find like a special ore that can be used to fertilize the fields basically, which will grow a lot of wheat, which they can then turn into a really good meat apparently. So that's everything from those particular quests. I'll probably get down to doing those someday, but moving on. So where is Ronitt? We gotta find Ronitt first. It's gotta be around here. There, okay. There she is. I've never seen so many people in one place. Unfortunately, not one of them is our Wright's engineer. Where could he be? I wouldn't be surprised if he's whimpering in some corner wishing he'd never come here. With all these big folk walking about, he's probably scared one of them will trip over him. Well, slap my arse and call me a pulka. You're the second honest-to-God dwarf I've seen this morning. Really? So where was the first? Over at the meme, playing hide-and-seek by the looks of it, or maybe he was just lost. That's him, it's gotta be! Come on, Claire, let's go and nab him before he runs off again! I feel kind of bad, because the reason he left home in the first place was because he was looking for us, though I don't know what for. So this is the meme, eh? From the name, I thought it'd be full of scowling faces, but they all seem quite friendly. Anyway, where'd Ronitt get to? Ha! Found him! So many of them, so sudden tall. I wish Claire was here. Beep. They're detected. Claire! Oh, that was rude. Oi, watch it, short arse. Oh, poor little guy. So when you heard that Claire is staying in the Crystarium, you came here looking for her? That's quite the journey for one so young. Getting here was easy. Starting conversations was hard. Every time I try to give someone a good old-fashioned hi-ho, they look at me like I'm daft or something. Never mind all that. You found Claire in the end, or she found you, more like. Come to think of it, why were you looking for her in the first place? It's simple, really. I always thought Claire was just a, I don't know, helpful traveler or some such, but the chief tells me she's a hero who risks life and limb to save the world. When I heard that, I thought that I'm only right that I do the same. Trouble is, I'm not sure where to start. But I'm not going back to Tomra until I find a way to prove myself your equal. And while I'm not much of a fighter, there are other ways I can be help with those in need. Because unlike the rest of my village, who can't think beyond their next pint of ale, I've got big dreams. Ambitions! Now, there's nothing wrong with a well-earned drink or 10 after a hard day's work, but that's beside the point. How can you hope to compete with someone like Claire? You might be known as the greatest warrior of the world's ever seen. But there's one thing I can do better than you. Crafting! Oh, he's gonna be quite surprised. Okay. You fluffy bearded nincompoop. That's too mean. Actually, I've been known to dabble in artistry myself. What? You must be joking! Why, Claire has been putting her skills as a goldsmith to help around the meme for some time now. Trust me to make friends with one of those annoying people who's good at everything. Suppose there's no need to make it into a competition, though. Why don't we, what's the word? Cooperate? There might be someone around here who needs our help. How about you, miss? Got anything that needs mending? Or maybe one of my patented automata can carry out a few menial tasks? Where to begin? We did receive a report a few days ago of a caravan of merchants being attacked by roving sin-eaters not far from Solon. While they were able to escape without any casualties, they had no choice but to abandon almost all of the produce they had been transporting. I fear it's only a matter of time until it happens again. Is there anything you can do? Sin-eaters? Bugger that! This Fetch-O-Matotic Metatoad might come in handy. A few extra spiky bits should do the trick. On second thought, it might take more than that. I'll need somewhere to use the workshop to carry out some modifications. You mean to say you built these yourselves? It certainly is imposing, in a way only a three-wheeled mechanical frog can be. Now there's a fine compliment if ever I heard one, I think. This example of dwarven engineering was lovingly crafted by young Ronitt here. He's a descendant of the great blacksmith Watts, and well on his way to becoming the pride of Tomra in his own right. Yes, judging by the quality of his work, I can see why. In fact, I have a proposal. If you're willing to lend us your expertise, we can arrange space for you to use as a workshop. Really? When I say space, that's essentially all there is. We plan to build a storehouse near the Ostal Imperative, but we had to divert our resources elsewhere, and it was never completed. It seems to me you put it to good use. After all, a friend of Claire's is a friend of ours. That's very generous of you, miss. I'll turn that place into a first-class workshop in 2 shakes of a newborn's beard. Excellent! I'll inform those at the Imperative so they aren't too surprised when automata start appearing out of the blue. I suggest you make yourselves known to Laura Tia, who owns the land. She's a regular at the Clearmelt Spring, so try there first. Sounds like some meeting and greeting is in order. I reckon it'll go a lot smoother if you're there to cover for me in the likely event I put my foot in somehow. I also have no bloody idea how to get there, so lead the way. Well, that was nice of him. Let's see what she has to say real quick. Please give Lord Thea my regards, and do not try to be discouraged if she seems a little irascible at first. In other words, she's going to be a difficult person to deal with. Oh boy, it's probably a good thing that Ronitt has us going after him. Okay, so let's have a look around here. Where's these areas supposed to be? I know it's supposed to be out here in Lakeland. Nothing better than a long soak in the springs, and Clearmount has the best for moms around. It's a shame I can't have the whole place to myself. These hot springs look awfully hot. I go for a dip myself, but I'm worried my head wouldn't boil inside my helmet. Taking it off first is out of the question, obviously. Beep boop. So this is Clearmelt, eh? Funny name for a bunch of rocks and a couple of ponds, if you ask me. More importantly, where is that Lorthia person? You there, old crone! I'm looking for Lorthia. You know where she is? Call me an old crone again and I'll rip that silly beard off and shove it down your throat, you mouthy little gobshite. But if it's Lorthia you're after, you're looking at her. What do you want? I like her already. She's sounds like somebody I want to be like when I'm older. Catless sent you, did she? If she thinks you're alright, that's good enough for me. So tell me, what do you plan to make in this workshop of yours? And don't go thinking you can impress me with a load of technical jargon. I was an engineer myself, you know? I'm gonna modify this here automaton so that I can transport goods and keep them safe from sin eaters. Ha! Won't be transporting much of anything with those stubby little arms, let alone fend off attackers. And even if you could store goods in the torso, by the time it's done windmilling into the bastards, all those wares would have been shaken to buggery. Good luck to the poor sods that have to sell that. Yeah, but the windmilling's the best part. Ronitt, the old woman has a point, you know. Less of the old, or I'll use that beard of yours to scrub the baths, with the rest of you still attached. So we need a way to carry as much as possible while striking the sin eaters from a distance. That's it! Everyone gather round! Wicked right, it's so old. The ink's probably the only thing holding it together. The design's from the days before the flood, the brainchild of the great Watts himself. It's a self-propelled transportation device armed to the teeth. I call it the Rollin' Tankard. Its thick iron shell keeps the cargo inside safe and sound, while the cannon blasts any attackers to smithereens. What an amazing coincidence that you've had the perfect solution in your pocket this whole time, even before you knew what the problem was. It ain't no coincidence. Ever since I found a bunch of blueprints in a tightly locked safe back when I was little, I've taken them with me wherever I go. Never know when Watts' ideas might come in handy. Of course, I'm not just gonna make one of these, oh no. I'll make a whole bunch of them and send them all over Norvat. Soon everyone will see how great dwarven engineering really is. But this only shows how it should look from the outside, with no mention of the inner workings. Are you sure you can pull this off? I'd bet my beard on it. And to be honest, dwarven technology's come a long way since Watts' time. He probably didn't design the insights because there was no way to actually make something like this back then. Luckily, we got my skills to bring Watts' ideas to life. I'll have a prototype up and running in no time. Listen, Ronitt, you're not the only one who knows how to swing a hammer around here. If we combine our efforts, it'll be ready even sooner. Cheers, mates. Appreciate it. I must say, I'll be interested to see how this all turns out. I'll let you use my land as long as you don't turn it into a smoldering crater. You won't regret this, but if we're to build a workshop, we'll need a few more pairs of hands. I'll head back to Tomra and round up some volunteers. Hold it right there. If this place is going to be overrun with dwarves, at least give me some way to tell you apart. How am I meant to know who's who if you all dress like that? I'm not sure you realize this, madam, but we dwarves don't exactly have extensive wardrobes. In the interest of a smooth running operation, I'll ask my friend Korat if there's anything we can do. So much for helping. More like bugger off back to Tomra and leave poor Ronitt to do everything by himself. Well, you're still here, so you can give me a hand instead. Let's go and take a look at this plot of land, shall we? That land used to belong to a relative of mine who moved to the Crystarium to get away from the Sin Eaters. Since then, I've been at a loss as to what to do with it. I'm not exactly infatuated with potential tenants, as you can well imagine. Alright. So it's right around... Oh, I see it from here. Okay. Is it strange that I've never noticed it before? And boy, did they move in fast. Beep boop. Welcome to the workshop, or workshop to be, I suppose I should call it. Either way, this is where Watts' vision will become reality. Although I have to admit, it's not going to be as easy as I made out to be. Having you here does make the task seem less daunting, though. And even though I was a bit miffed to hear that you're into crafting as well, stealing my thunder and all that, I'm glad we got something in common. If you can lend a hand between whatever it is the Warrior of Darkness does the rest of the time, it'd mean the world to me. So what do you say, Claire? Will you help me? You talk yourself into this, build your own damn tanks? That's way too mean, but what the world needs now is tanks. Sweet tanks. Of course I'll help. But only because I might get to ride around in one of these tanks myself. Phew, I was worried you were gonna say no for a moment there. Now let's make some tanks. But before that, there are a few things we need to get in order. We won't get much done without something at least resembling a workshop. If you're in the mood for helping, maybe you could rustle up some basic parts? I've got a list of everything I need. Anyone with even a passing interest in metalworking should be able to manage it, so I'm sure you'll be fine. As another example of my incredible foresight, I've already had the Fetch-O-Matic Megatoad collect a load of random, potentially very useful materials on the way over. This should be enough. If you somehow manage to bugger it up, don't worry, we got plenty more. I'll be taking care of the rest of the preparation, so come and see me when you're done. Okay, so this shouldn't be too hard. We just need to synthesize a crate of workshop supplies. Alright, where is it? Beast Tribe? I mean, it's not a Beast Tribe. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but here we go. Okay, so first we'll use Reflect. Okay. Oh, and we don't have to make it high quality. Okay, well, we'll just make it quick then. There we go. All done? Let's see what you brought me then. Okay, contains vital pieces of the puzzle that is Ronitt's workshop. Unfortunately, you are not privy to the details surrounding their assembly, though rather than being some closely guarded secret, it is largely due to the fact that Ronitt is hopeless when it comes to adequately explaining anything. Ah, I gotta say, I wasn't expecting it to be quite this good. Not showing off, are you? Me and the Megatoad take care of the rest, so you go and put your feet up for a bit. Don't want you taking all the credit now. Ah, that is impressive. Oh, look, they've already changed outfits. That's so cute. There you are. Welcome to Watts Anvil. Two of you did all this? I can't believe it. Is that you, Ronitt? Why, I hardly recognize you. Have you done something with your beard? Well spotted, Carrot. According to the legends, Watts had a brown beard and white horns. Seeing as I'm his descendant, I thought I should follow suit. Wow. I'm impressed. Now that we got the proper workshop, we can get started on making a prototype of the Rotoling Tankard. Tell the truth, I'm not used to having this sort of pressure. Still, I got you and the others here to do the heavy lift, essential tasks, so I'm sure everything will go exactly as planned. Speaking of essential tasks, I'll be handling supply of the various parts and whatnot, so come and see me when you're ready to show us with those skills of yours. Ron and his fellow dwarfs have thrown themselves wholeheartedly into their newest enterprise, namely to provide trudging death machines for the needy. What is this? We're being watched. By who? That didn't look good. That looked like one of the dwarfs from the other village. Like their sworn enemies. The Grogs, yeah. So it was from the Grogs. And Tomra. Honestly, I don't know why the dwarves hate each other like that. Okay, our reputation is up to friendly. Dwarf beast tribes are now available. We purchased wares from Mizut. Where's Mizut? Oh, cool. Beep boop. Initiating self-destruct sequence. Proceed. Beep. Self-destructive sequence could not be completed due to an error. Please reset and try again. Oh, okay, there they go. That's the vendor. Ooh, Slither Sand, crafting materia. I can't say I'm surprised. It's not going to start off with the best stuff anyway. Okay, so... Here we go. So we need 510. So let's take each one. So Lakeland Neighbors. Riget has the look of a dwarf with work to share. As you know, we're gonna need a bloody mountain of bits and pieces to make our tanks, and bugger me if those soldiers at the castle didn't kindly offer to help out. So in exchange for them sharing their supplies, we promised to fix up their gear and whatnot. A little give and take, you understand. I've already sent the tinkerer over to Ulstall to start repairing equipment. He's working all on his own. Could possibly use a hand. And look, you've got 2 of them! Okay, blueprint a day. Riget has an abundance of ideas, but no way to bring them to the world. Do you know what it's like to be too clever for your own good? Of course you do. Try as we might, we dwarves just can't stop birthing ideas. Our minds are like broken dams of creativity. The only problem is that we have so many ideas, we have to plumb run out of materials to write them down with. We're quite particular about what we use to memorize our designs. You can't expect us to be satisfied with any run-of-the-mill ink and parchment. If they were made by one with your talents, however, I'm sure everyone would be more than happy. Quartermaster at Fort Shop should have the materials you need, but he's always going to and fro, gathering what needs gathering. It's really a matter of luck whether he's there or not. And Foundations of Steel. Riget has metal on the mind. So, you've been wondering about the anvil for a while now. Out of all the miated materials we produce here, which do you reckon is the one we use the most on a day-to-day basis? If you got steel plates, then congratulations! Seems your eyes are as keen as your hands. Indeed, the sounds of a hammer on steel is the sound of creation here at the anvil. The birth of anything from a simple chest to a tank fit for combat. Just like your eyes and your hands, I suppose your mind is keen enough to gather what I might be asking you to make next, then. We're constantly running low on steel sheets, and the whole of the anvil would be grateful if you made a few for us. Go and see our smithy over at the Weathering and tell him I sent you. Okay. Hi-ho, isn't this great? All of us working together to make one's vision a reality. Now, I know the tanks are designed for carrying goods and whatnot, but I thought Ixmoot might like to go for a ride one day. Really? Who's Ixmoot? I think she's one of the people, like, from his village. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've done that quest. Oh well. First things first. I take it you're the crafter who's meant to save my arse, as Riget puts it. He was quite a fushif in regards to your skills, in his way, and if even half of his blustering is true, then I'm glad to have you. The materials we can gather here are altogether different from those we have in Galusha, and we have our hands full trying to keep up with increasing demand. Any way you can help us would be a godsend. I think a few ingots ought to help us along, 3 to be precise. This ore I procured should suffice, but if for whatever reason you run out of materials, just get more from the automaton. Once you're finished, bring the materials to Reggit at once. Doubtless he is eager to begin ramping up production. Okay, and there it is, steel plate composition. And we don't have to make them high quality either. But we will just because. Oh well. It really doesn't look like it matters at this point, so... Yeah, I was not expecting that to... Yeah, I was not expecting that to reach 100% in just one go. What can you do? You know, they really do make an effort to point out, like, how rare dwarfs are in this part of the world, and why is that? I mean, I get, like, a bunch of them are kind of cloistered up in Galusha and just due to tradition and everything, but surely they can't be the only ones, right? There had to have been other tribes. I mean, don't tell me the flood took them all. That's sad thinking about that. So you're the one meant to help with the blueprints, eh? Good, good. I have a keen eye for materials. And when it comes to actually putting them together, I'm all thumbs. If the other dwarves don't get what they need, we'll soon have a riot on our hands. Nothing's worse than having an idea stewing in your head and with no way to let it out into the world. I suppose we could start by having you make the most essential of materials. A pen nib. Can't very well write with some stick off the ground, can you? Take these materials, and if you run out for any reason, the automaton will be happy to oblige you with more. Once you've done your part, make haste to the anvil and deliver the supplies to Reggit. Doubtless there are many workers who are going positively nutty for all the ideas trapped in their noggins. Okay, blueprint supplies. I gotta say, these quests are short and easy. Now let's head back to the Ostal Imperative. And we should be able to call it a day right after that. Yeah, so just like with the other beast tribes, again, this is not a beast tribe, but again, because of the other tribes, we can only earn a certain amount every day. We kind of have to be patient and just work our way up. Do 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 do. I'm just realizing we probably could have teleported there, but come on, we're more than halfway there now. What's the point? Oh, did Reddit send you too? Brilliant. I have plenty of arms and armor to knock back into shape, but not enough parts to mend them. I appreciate if you could take these scraps and put together 3 repair kits for bending blades, spearheads, and the like. The automaton will cough up more materials if you need them. Otherwise, you can drop them in my lap when you're done. The armament repair kits. Yeah, so I think that you only do quality if you're below 80, and if you do the quality there, you will receive experience points. I think that's how it works anyway. Well, hi-ho, have you those repair kits I needed? Okay, this repair kit contains specialized items for the maintenance and mending of soldierly equipment. Ah, that's the stuff. In fact, these kits might be better quality than the gear I mean to fix. Right. I must get to work. You can head back on to Regan and tell him we're holding up our side of the bargain. Okay, so we'll just turn these other quests in, and that'll be it. Back already, are you? How fared our tinkerer? Sounds like he was well pleased with your contribution. Thanks for that, Claire. We're guests in this neck of the woods after all, and I reckon it's wise that we stay on our garrison's good side. Best way we can repay their hospitality, though, is to make our tanks as good as they can be. The protection they'll give to the merchant caravans will mean one less headache for the soldiers to worry about. Do you have the materials? I hope so. I can feel my budding ideas withering away. So dramatic, these people. Fey blueprints are among the most prized possessions in the Anvil, and many dwarves will guard their own designs as jealously as they would a tankard of ale. Ah, these will do nicely. Even the most ambitious design starts with a blueprint, and so the ink and parchment are tools equally as important as the hammer and anvil. I reckon this should keep us settled for a while yet, but as I said before, the flow of ideas is constant. I may have need of your services again sooner rather than later. And last one. Ah, you return! I trust there was no insurmountable hurdles this time around. Production of steel plates involves much more than an ingot and some fire, as can be plainly seen by the complexity of this component. Perfection! And with this we can produce even more sheets than we are before. That means more metal for everyone! We use the sheets for everything from our helmets, to our homes, to our tanks. We will never be without a need for them. Or for your expert hand. Yay! Alright, so we made good progress already. We're up to 180 out of 510. So I think we'll leave it there for right now. There's really not much more we can do today. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and you're going to be looking forward to what comes next. So until then, bye!